What's going on? This your boy Sermon at Sermon's Domain on Twitter. XXL has finally revealed the 2017 Freshman cover. So we're going to talk about it. In the past years, I've kind of broken down like each artist and, discuss like what I liked, what I didn't like, if I was familiar with them. But I feel like the disconnect for 2017's list is real. Every single person on the list I'm familiar with to an extent. I've heard at least one song out of everybody on the list. And I know that some of them are signed to major labels, they have platinum and gold singles, they're selling out across the country. So I'm not that type of person who would ever come into this video and start saying, this guy doesn't deserve it, this guy's trash, this guy, no. I feel like everybody on the list does deserve it. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that I like their music or that I listen to them on a regular basis, but I am familiar with them enough to say that they deserve it. Out of the list, I would say the only two that I've really listened to and enjoyed is Kyle, who I really liked his debut album. And I'm glad to see that he's having so much success with I Spy featuring Lil Yachty. Like, that's a top 10 Billboard hit right there. So I'm glad to see that. And then Kamaya, who is signed under YG. I think bar for bar, skill for skill, she is the best on the list. Like, there's nobody on there that's more lyrically inclined than her. She's really good at what she does. And I think those two names in particular, and maybe it's just my familiarity with them, I think that they're going to be around for a long time. Like, out of everybody on the list, they're the ones that will have lengthy careers. Now, obviously, everything doesn't necessarily work out how I would think about it. I'm just looking at it like they have the best music on the list and one that I can see being around for many years. But again, any of these people have the potential to be around for many years to come or just disappear after this year. When I tweeted about that, one of my friends on Twitter, OG Johnny 5, he tweeted me and he said that he believes Playboy Carti could have a lengthy career. And I can see that. He's hot at the moment. He's the who's who when you think about buzzing rappers. But we've seen rappers in his position before. They're at their red hot and they eventually just kind of fizzle out. 2 years ago, we were all about Fetty Wap. In 2017, who's talking about him? Chief Keef, while he still has a fan base, is no longer in that supernova status that he had back in 2012 and 2011. Like, when he first came out, everybody was about Chief Keef. Now it's kind of like people will listen to him and he's still making music, but he's far from where he was, 5-6 years ago. So I feel like I can't sit here and like break down each act because I don't really listen to him like that. First impressions are everything. If you listen to a couple songs from every rapper on the list and then you're just like, I'm not really feeling it, then there's not much that you can do. You don't want to subject yourself to listening to music that you don't really like. But again, I respect every artist on this list with the exception of the XXX guy. Obviously, about like XXX's story and his personal issues and how he carries himself as an artist. So that's why I can't respect him. He's the one on the list that I would definitely omit and get rid of. I don't feel like he deserves the attention that he's getting, but he's the only one. Everybody else, I'm like, okay, I might not like the music, but I respect the movement because in this generation, if you have a buzz, if you're able to get to this point in your career, then you're doing something right. I can't be one of those, bitter people that's like, oh, I loved hip-hop more back in the 90s. We don't have a Rakim or Ice Cube or LL Cool J or Mobb Deep anymore. Like, I'm not one of those people. I enjoy some of the rappers that you see like nowadays, like the Young Thugs, the Futures, Migos. The list goes on, 21 Savage. So I'm not one of those people that doesn't like change. I just feel like a lot of the rappers on this XXL list, they kind of make like similar music. So it's all like, it just kind of blends together. Nobody really stands out. I think it's more people stand out because of their buzz. Obviously, Playboi Carti is one of the hottest on the list, but you know, again, it's just the list it just kind of runs together. Like I said in the beginning of the video, there's this disconnect from where XXL and a lot of the internet is saying hip hop is going, like the direction wise, versus what I like. And that's perfectly fine. It's perfectly fine to say I don't know any of these people, or I won't listen to any of these people, or you know, whatever the case may be. It is real interesting to just look at like the list over the years. Like it's the 10th anniversary for the XXL Freshmen, and in 2007, just off the top of my head, I remember it had Joel Ortiz, Crooked Eye, I think Papoose was on there, Saigon, and then some other names as well. And it's just like, damn, like you compare that list to this one and like you see how much hip hop has changed. You look at every freshman list and you can see like the direction. And like last year, you could kind of see that, you know, bleeding over. Like this list, I feel like there's a lot of those, you know, internet friendly SoundCloud type of rappers. Last year, there was like more of a balance. There was a few of them and then, you know, some other artists that were good on the list. But this year, it's like, they're going for, you know, achievements and buzz over skill. And that's something that XXL is fine with, because I know they want people to talk about the list and they want people to go and buy it. And if Playboi Carti has a bunch of fans and he's on the list, and people are going to want to, you know, pick that up and see what he has to say. So were there any artists that I felt should have been on the list that didn't make it? Well, off the top of my head, I can think of two names that I think are, you know, buzzing heavily that deserve to be on the list. The first is T Grizzly. Now, T Grizzly had First Day Out, huge video, like over 12 million plays last time I checked. He had a successful mixtape in April, and he went on tour with 21 Savage. So I feel like if he's not on it this year, which he isn't, then next year will be his time. Because XXL is either on point with these names or they're kind of a year late. Like you can make the argument like someone like a Kyle or a Kamaya, or who else is on the list that was popping last year? You know, like Made in Tokyo, he's on the list. He could have been on there last year. He had like the hit single and everything. But I feel like T, like his moment is either now or next year. So I think XXL is definitely paying attention to what is going to happen with him next. But I think he is someone who definitely deserves a spot. The other name that comes to mind is G Perico. I just reviewed his project recently, and I feel like he is one of the nicest on the West Coast. He has like an old school throwback G-Funk, DJ Quick type of vibe to his music. So he was someone that I figured wasn't going to make it because he's not on the level of everybody else on the list. Like you could probably make the argument like he's as hot as this guy or this guy, but I think from a XXL scope, he wasn't entirely there yet. But aside from that, I can't think of any other names. Nothing else comes to mind of, you know, an artist that is truly deserving. But I do want to hear from you guys. Now that I've talked about the cover, you know, my thoughts and feelings towards where, you know, hip hop is going with, as it dictates to this list. Now I want to know, what do you think about the cover? Are you a fan of these rappers? Have you listened to them? I think it's important that if you haven't listened to someone, at least go and listen to a song or two. Get a feel for who they are as an artist. You might like them, you might not. And then let me know how you feel in the comment section. Are you feeling these rappers? Are you not? And like I just talked about, who do you think is missing from the list? So talk to me in the comment section below, and then like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're not already, share the video. Follow me on Twitter at Sermons Domain, and as always, thank you for your time. I appreciate you for watching, and until next time, peace.